Uh, Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are back. It has been a very long time. We have been missing in action, but here we are. We are back. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I'm joined by Pete, the Man City man, Peter Stirrup. You know what? They've sold almost 11 players. You'll see when I
I
show you.
know,
11 players, and they
I
started
know.
new. Pete, just greet the viewers. Let's get moving.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and hope you enjoy the show. It's been a while since we talked to you, so hope you enjoy.
Mm, mm. Pete, lot is happening. We are happy that the league is back. Football is back again. We are watching football, which is nice. Lot is happening, but I don't know whether you have seen what I see. I see a lot of goals. I see in La Liga neck on neck. Mbappe is already on 2 goals leading.
Yeah.
He's always on scoreboards, which is quite good. It's quite impressive. Another news: Orlando Pirates, they are back in the band. They are doing what they have been doing last year. Um, Mamelodi Sundowns, I see they've been trying new formation. You know, it's difficult. It's
Mm.
difficult for a team of Mamelodi Sundowns, all the teams, especially when you play your local football and continental football. Now it has extended to world football. It demands a lot. It demands a lot. It demands a huge squad. So I see what Cardoso is trying to do. But guess what? Fans can't take it anymore. And I guess,
Yeah.
having said that, I see that Inter Miami, they are looking at the new coach. You know,
There you go. See,
the stress
Hey,
is too much there, man. Hmm?
you know what they say. You know what they say, Sobri. There's only
Mhm.
one constant, and that's change. Things are going to change,
Yeah.
and my team, Man City, is a good example of that. And they were
Mm.
lucky. And talking of change, Erling Haaland shaved his hair off.
Yeah, I
Have you
saw
seen his?
that.
Have you seen his new look there? Yeah. So I'm not
I
sure
saw
now whether
that.
he's going to be like Samson now, and when he
Yeah,
cuts his hair, he loses
yeah,
his power.
I saw well, he's got a new look, and then
He's got a new team as well, by the looks of it coming.
yeah,
That's
yeah, no,
that's a new team. Yeah.
the team is you know what? I wish you guys don't put too much pressure on the new coach. He can't be Pep, all right?
No,
So you need to be,
but I
calm
mean,
down.
who's putting the pressure on who? Yeah, I mean, who's? I mean, surely he has said yes to all these transfer requests. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's is that not self-pressure in some respects? Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, we were lucky against the opening game there against Bournemouth. I
Mm,
thought they were a
mm,
bit
mm,
unlucky to lose that game. They should have
mm.
at least had a draw, I think, there. But we managed
Yeah.
to squeeze a very late goal there to make it
Mm,
2-1. Man
mm,
United lost. I mean, look how
mm,
much money they've spent in the
mm,
transfer market this season. And the
mm,
opening
mm,
game against a newly promoted club, they lose
mm,
2-0.
mm, mm,
Liverpool scrape a draw.
mm, mm, mm,
So one has to favor Arsenal in the English Premier League because they've
mm,
got consistency and stability, I think.
mm, mm,
But we'll see. We'll
mm.
see how that works out.
Yeah. One thing that I want us to touch on, Pizzo Musimani, not necessarily Pizzo. You know what? I'm very much angry with Hugo Bros.
Yeah,
You know, I was really, really in favor of what he was doing, but I'm very cross that Hugo Bros. I don't know. They say you talk too much. Okay, maybe that's the best language to use. I don't know why Hugo is doing what he's doing.
we
This
don't know.
now shows that Hugo, um, I'm sorry to say it, but it's a fact. It's like Hugo is a racist. Why do you say he was very angry at some point to say, now people say I'm a racist, not me, I'm not a racist. But how do you, how do you, how do you match what he said that if they appoint Pizzo, they'll go 5 years backwards? You know, I don't know.
He's not he's not showing any confidence in Pizzo's ability. But if you read a little bit between the lines there,
Mm,
he's saying it's about controlling the agents and the agents controlling the team and the way that SAFA is structured. And to me it sounds like, is he saying that Pizzo's not strong enough for that job? Or is he saying it's his ability?
no, no, look,
I don't,
to be
who
honest,
knows?
it's not the
Who
first time.
knows?
Jomo once
No,
spoke
no,
about
sure.
that. Jomo once
Yeah.
spoke about that to say, you know what, when you coach Bafana, the pressure is too
Mm,
much. It's coaches, not only coaches, and then it is agents who want their
mm,
players to play.
sure.
So this is not new. This is not
No.
new. We know it's tough. It's not as easy as that, you know.
But I
So
mean, Pizza also understands that. He also knows that.
I mean,
So
Peters has
surely he
done well.
knows that when he took the job, um, he don't tell me he didn't know what he was getting into. So yeah, um, unnecessary utterings, as they say,
Yeah, no,
uh, from our ex-coach there, and I think he's not he's not left any good taste in the country's support fan base there. So,
mm,
and he's almost justified, what people have been saying about him over the years
mm,
by
mm.
he should have, just like you said, just kept quiet. In fact, he did.
That's
When
it.
he had
That's
an
it.
interview here,
I'm giving
he said he's not going to answer that question. And then when he's back in Belgium, he does what I believe to be something really not too intelligent. Yeah.
I'm very angry at Hugo Bros. You know, we supported him, we defended him.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I must say he has done well. We can't take that away from him. He has done very, very well. He's the first coach to qualify for the knockout in the World Cup. We've never, but don't cut us patience, okay?
Sure.
For me, again, this also comes to why suffer dilly-dally? Why they offer Pizzo 5 million when it is alleged, well, these are allegations. It is alleged that Hugo Bros was getting 1.4 million a month, which is almost
Mm.
14 million.
I heard it over an annual salary. Uh, they've offered Pizzo as an annual salary, 10 million versus supposedly Bruce getting
14, 16.
16.7.
Yeah. So,
16.7, yeah.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I think we discussed this kind of like offline. I mean, the job of South Africa's head coach demands a salary of X, whatever that salary is.
Mhm,
Why are we modifying it now based on the person who takes the job?
mhm,
It's just not right, man. I mean, if he should be getting at least what Bruce was getting.
the previous amount. The, in any
Yeah, the 16.7 or what, if that's accurate or not, we don't know that for sure. But yeah, why 6.7 million rands difference per annum? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
you
What
know,
are they what are they trying to say by that?
mm,
You know?
you know what is disappointing? Danny is an activist, ANC activist on the ground, sports during apartheid. He knows
Yeah,
better. Okay, and then somebody was saying, no, no, he's not his decision. It's a collective. I said, leaders take leadership, especially on matters of principle. Here, Hugo was supposed to, Danny was supposed to be principled and say, as a former activist, fighting apartheid, fighting discrimination where it raised ugly head.
Whatever the
Allow,
discrimination is, yeah.
yeah,
It's
I wouldn't allow such thing to encroach, to allow, because he's a black guy, even if it was not a racist thing, but we'll
no.
interpret it that way. Why not?
Well, people will interpret it that way because what are they supposed to think?
Mm,
You
mm,
know,
mm,
this guy gets 16.7, this guy is offered 10. And although there's no agreement on that 10 now at this stage,
mm,
that was
mm,
the alleged offer on the table at the time.
mm.
And it just sucks. I'm sorry, it does. It doesn't ring true to me that.
I wish
Uh,
Peter stand his ground.
well, I think he is, isn't he? I mean, nothing's signed at this stage, so we don't know what goes on, in the background there. But I'm sure he's putting his foot down a bit there.
Mm,
One
mm,
hopes so. One hopes so.
mm. No, it's not good. You cannot, not at all, decide. As you can see there, I've shown you the figures. They say Bruce was getting 1.4 million per month, which
Yeah,
comes to 6.8 per annum.
16.8. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
Peter is
apologies.
offered 10 million. Why? Will you call this fair?
No,
I expected more from Danny, even if it should be a leadership decision. But the leader give us a direction. You call for
yeah.
directives and you are pushed by principles. A former anti-apartheid activist would understood that better. That's my opinion. I may be wrong. That's my opinion. Even if it was not, there was no racial issues around this matter, but because of it will come as a racial element. Here is another one. I don't know. The Minister of Sports is going here. Why talking about this? I don't know. What's your opinion, Pete? I send the minister's PA a WhatsApp to say we would like to talk to him, and then they said the invitation is noted, but they never responded. Okay. But still,
Mm,
they still have an opportunity to come and share. I always argue and say it's important to share information because fans are stakeholders. What's your take about what the minister is doing these days? I see him talking because my understanding as a minister, you are playing at arm's length. All right.
mm,
I don't expect it to be mudding. I think he's mudding himself too much. At some point, I hear the statements, and no, Peter should be appointed. That's not your space. That's my
mm.
opinion. I may be wrong.
Yeah, look, I think anything can happen now that we're so close to the local elections there. So I think you can expect that from any politician for them to grab any ground that they think might help their cause. But this whole story about the implementation of VAR, I've got to tell you, I'm a bit confused because I still remember us talking, what, September, October last year, where it was said that 82 million
Mhm,
had been allocated uh, to the implementation of VAR.
mhm,
Now, if you read on uh, what it's saying here,
mhm,
some sources are saying no, it's 20 million
mhm.
that is
Also
in the
spoke of
coffers there.
30
So it's still
million.
there.
At some point, he spoke of 30 million. We don't
Yeah,
know now. We don't know now.
I don't know because he's requested 30 million, and yet
Mm,
there was either 82
mm,
that was
mm,
allocated,
mm,
or there's 30. It depends on your sources and that. But there's a whole confusion about this,
mm,
and yeah, again, SAFA's under the spotlight here, I think,
mm, mm, mm,
for the way that they've handled this. If you look at so they made a statement, yeah,
mm. Yeah. SAFA
and
said
they
they
said,
haven't spent a cent. They said they are busy. They haven't spent a
yeah,
cent.
I've
One
got,
other thing that
I've got it
okay.
basically here that I looked at it. It says the 20 million funds is intact. SAFA confirmed that the full 20 million transferred by the ministry in April 2026 remains unspent and securely held in a dedicated account accruing interest. Sorry. But there's no contract signed yet. Although SAFA completed technical evaluation, identifying 3 preferred VAR technology providers, no binding contract or procurement agreements have been executed. Governance and cost review. The SAFA National Executive Committee NEC approved a VAR implementation in principle in May 2026, but mandated a thorough review of budget assumptions, long-term costs, and procurement policies by its financial committee and its dedicated testing. PSL and stakeholder engagement. SAFA's VAR project team has presented an implementation framework to the Premier Soccer League Executive Committee by the Joint Liaison Committee. So there's been a 21-day deadline granted. Following an August 18 meeting with the ministry, the department granted SAFA a final 21-day extension to finalize budget verifications, complete governance checks, and submit a comprehensive report detailing the path forward. So that's the latest what's coming out there, according to what's on the social media sites. Now, let's just cast our mind back. Remember, we were talking, and I'm sure 82 million was the figure that was supposedly allocated. I mean, 30 to 20, 82 to 20, and asking for 30 back. Something's not tying up here.
This is a statement that we are reading.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the question for me is, let's take the money out of the picture now. Remember, the initial target for the implementation of VAR was the beginning of the Premier Soccer League, and we're already a couple of weeks into it already. And if you read what this statement says here that you put on the table there, maybe just make it a little bit bigger for the viewers, Saubrey. What now? Hey, what now? I mean, what happened between that commitment in April till now August? I mean, we never heard anything about it going off track until it's already past the due date. So who was the ministry appointing fingers at SAFA, which is fine, because obviously something's not 100% there. But who's been monitoring them on their commitments that they were making? We just said, "Oh, there you go, get on with it," and then we just leave it. I mean, if we're going to get involved to that extent, who's been tracking this? I don't know. It's something's not right here. Something's maybe somebody doesn't want VAR in the Premier Soccer League. I don't know,
but let me put it this way. You know why there are procedures.
Sure.
You know why courts talk about procedures and so on.
Yeah.
I fail to understand, Minister Mackenzie, why can't he pick up a phone and ask? There was a World Cup that was brought during the time of the former president, President Zuma. President Zuma never said, "I brought the World Cup," and tell everybody, okay?
Yeah,
and I know the late, may his soul rest in peace. They started that process of the World Cup. The late Minister Steve Tshwete never went around and make noise. I'm the one who started the World Cup. Okay. I think Minister Mackenzie must chill out a little bit. Do your things in the background. We don't want to hear. And for him, as a minister, to say, "I want Peter to be the coach," don't get me wrong. I want Peter. I can say it because I'm an ordinary man in the street. I want Peter to be the coach. Hence, I'm angry at what Igor Bros said. But the minister can't say that. And the minister can't even say, somebody doesn't want VAR. Why is he saying? He's cutting us patience. Now, all those soccer bosses now, they are going to look at themselves. Remember now, when you are looking at SAFA, you have Dr. Danny Jordaan as the president. The deputy president is Dr. Ivan Koza. Dr. Ivan Koza is in charge of PSF. You see, when you start saying that, as a minister, what are you trying to say? Are you trying? Then he went on and said, I can guarantee it's not Dr. Danny Jordaan. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. Why are you saying all those utterances? But I think you have said it correctly, that probably it's a question of electioneering. It's easy for one to say it's an electioneering because we are going closer to the elections. So consequently, we end up seeing all this kind of behaviors. This is uncalled for me. This is one behavior I think the minister should reflect and desist from it. Yeah, because anybody can claim that I've done this. You know, when I listened to the story of the World Cup 2010, I read somewhere whereby Jomo said they visited, he was visited by Pele. Remember, Jomo and Pele were very close. And Jomo is 3 houses away from where Madiba stays. So Pele wanted to go and see Madiba. They went there, okay? And when they arrived, they were overwhelmed. Remember Madiba, he had that magic. Especially Pele, because Jomo at least sees him all the time. Pele said in their discussion, he said, what can we do for this old man? That was Pele. Then they were discussing, then Pele said, start mobilizing for the World Cup to come to South Africa. All right? But I'm not saying who started, who never started. I know the late Minister Steve Tshwete was also there. The NC government wanted World Cup to come for marketing purposes. You know what? We are not interested in that. Do what is supposed to be done. Let's talk about the issue of VAR. That one too, I'm a little bit perturbed. They're telling everybody, giving them this money. What are you trying to implicate? What are you trying to insinuate? The next thing, you added a statement that says, I can guarantee it's not done. Now, if it's not done, who? Do you understand?
Well, whose commitment was it that VAR would be implemented by the Premier League? Is it something that Gayton may have insisted on and SAFA didn't sort of like respond and say, whoa, hang on a minute, we're going to do A, B, C, D, E, X, maybe it was, I mean, look, there were statements put out there saying that VAR would be in place by then. And now it's certainly not going to be for a good couple of months, I would think. If I look at the statement they put out.
They say it's going to happen. That's what they're saying. They say it's going to happen.
But also, what they're not mentioning in that statement there is that you don't just go, oh, here's the equipment, put it in the place. You've got to do all the training of the referees and linesmen, etc., and the guys that are going to do the training. You've got to sort of like communicate that to the league and how it's going to work, etc., etc., etc. It's not a 5-minute job, but we're not even at the point where we signed a contract, and it's 2-3 weeks in there. What happened? What happened? Was it an unrealistic time frame that was created, or was it just poor implementation? Or I don't know. Who knows?
I'm worried about the aspersion that is being cast. You see, you've got Dr. Jordan with the Vice President, Dr. Koza, Anastasia Chiglas, Linda Zwane, and Bennett Bailey. So I'm worried. If you start doing this now, where should we blame? Who should we blame? I don't think this noise is necessary. We are just increasing the level of emotional. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the minister tried to talk to them, they didn't want to listen to him, so he's frustrated, he's expressing his frustration. I don't know, maybe I may say. But nevertheless, let's move on quickly, Pete. Bailey, the vice president of, I think it's him. If I'll be corrected if I'm wrong. Anyone can correct me.
Hmm?
Is it in the Western Cape? And then they are
Yeah.
now they are saying the elections must be postponed. SAFA elections. I don't know whether the constitution does allow to election. I don't know whether it's because it's written on the wall that this is moving towards that direction. And then other
Yeah, maybe.
people are now scared. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Are scared that you know what this ship has moved, has already moved. What to take? What to take? But the good thing is they are going for elections, and then may the best man take over,
Yeah.
whether it's Danny Jordan or Zungu, it doesn't matter. As long as they'll give us what we want in terms of football. Yeah, so let's wait. Let's chill a little bit and make things easier. That's what I would ask. And then yeah. It is not only in South Africa, it's happening all over. Infant
Yeah.
still under pressure.
Big time.
It's still under pressure. Now let's look at this one of Infantino. I know as much as you know that UEFA and FIFA has always been at loggerheads.
Mm.
Uh,
This isn't the first confrontation, that's for sure.
they have always been at loggerheads. There will always be something. I don't know.
Mm.
Is it money that causes so much problem?
I
Because
believe so, yeah.
what Infantino alleged to have done to want to sell 20% of FIFA to associate of the president of America and some business, JP Morgan. Those are the allegations, okay? Um, it has killed, you know, football, it's an ordinary man game. England is the same scenario. People who are attending football are the factory workers and so on. It's a
Yeah.
simple sport, it's not a complicated sport. It's not like golf. Golf is so expensive, man.
Yeah, that's a rich man sport there, though.
Football, you need only one ball with 22 guys chasing it. Very cheap, okay? I don't
Yeah.
know. What's your take about Infantino's story? Let me hear your opinion. What's your take? Where do you think he went wrong? What direction should be followed?
I think if you look at the World Cup,
Mm,
um, there were a lot of dodgy decisions that went on, and there was a lot of accusations that, he was on the sideline of Argentina to win the World Cup. Um, there's a lot of you just look on social media, you can see it for yourself there. There's a lot of people believe that he was backing and sort of like helping Argentina to achieve their goals. And the allegation started with the selection process. It was a new selection process whereby the teams groups were selected. And it was alleged that, that Argentina had an easy passage through, in order to qualify
mm,
for the World Cup and the rounds to the knockout stages. I'm
mm,
not sure if that's true, but there were some dodgy decisions on the pitch, that's for sure. And then
mm,
if you look at that, and then you look at what happened with the American player Balgora, whatever his name was, the
mm.
guy that got sent off, he got a straight red card, and then there was a phone call from a certain president there that influenced that red card to be turned over.
No,
And then there's
it's not a secret. It was Donald Trump
yeah,
because he said it
yeah,
himself. So it
yeah.
was not a secret.
No, no,
Uh,
no.
yeah.
And if you look at that and you compared the Messi incident, where he trapped on and there wasn't even a card that was given to Messi in that particular instance. Now, I know I'm talking about your hero there, but I
Mm,
mean, if you look at let's just say the inconsistencies
mm,
rather than, you know, um, take the line of that. And then I think the final straw there, over and above that, was the ticket prices. If you look at and if you look and if you believe what is being reported back there, I mean, you could see the profit that was made from those games. That's not your average football supporter that can afford those tickets. So effectively, it's becoming an elitist sport and being taken away from what was a working man's game, as you said, and a favorite sport, and it's becoming elitist, like golf, by the comparison. So yeah, and then the final straw, I think, was this, the 20% share that he wanted to sell off there. And I think, you know, I don't think he did himself any favors throughout that whole World Cup. And there was some obvious favoritism, I would say, that was displayed by him personally. Um, he would shout vigorously for Argentina if you looked at the videos and what have you, and just he's the leader of FIFA. He's supposed to set the example and be unbiased, and a lot of people are saying that he wasn't. And coming back to your story there, as in football around the world, and it's even happening here in the PSL, money is becoming, the king. Because money equals power, the leaders are being, somewhat influenced by this money rather than keeping the game true to, the supporters. The minute you make money, people want more money. So a lot of people will say, no, he's taken the game, Infantino's taken the game to a new level. Yes, he has. There's no doubt about that. But is it for the benefit of your average football supporter, or is it for the benefit of people that can afford to watch the game and pricing out your average supporter? And I think for me, that's maybe where it's it's come to where it is now. But I mean, UEFA can also be somewhat criticized, and the European leagues in some respects for similar, but they're maybe not so in your face as what FIFA has been in recent times. Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion for what it's worth. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily It's not
yeah,
necessarily factual, but
yeah. Well, this is what we observe. We may be wrong, we may be
yeah,
right. Look, honestly, he has been shouting that I want Messi to win the World Cup, and I said that's what we are talking about now
yeah,
in terms of Mackenzie. To say you are the leader, you should not be seen to be taking sides. And then if one starts saying all those things, and then when Argentina score, he's being shown jubilant, celebrate,
that's right. Yeah.
and that it doesn't occur well. But to his credit, he has improved football. Um, he has done something that was uncalled for. They've tried many times, they failed, of taking football to the people by extending the number of teams qualifying for the World Cup. And we as Africans, that I'm no wonder why Kev supports him. We are so grateful about what he did, because look, for the first time, we had 10 teams going to the first round. 10 teams. That has never happened before. So on that basis, and then I say he has done very well. And the level of football, look at the World Cup 2022. I think that was the best ever football we saw. World Cup 2020. Even this one, it was the
Good.
best ever. It was just a question of, it came a disappointment because Argentina did not come to the party. But the two World Cup, from the first game, in the past, when they were playing the round robin thing, you'd see them kekelezing, we say that in our own way. In other words, they're buying time. You'd see them not
Yeah.
any effort. But this World Cup, effort was applied right from the first whistle, okay? And on top of that, the money that he brought in, okay? So he needs to be congratulated for those things. And as we talk now, Papa, we were showered with a lot of money, all right? So that's why I don't get the story that Pito is asking for too much. I don't think Pito is asking for too much.
No.
He can ask whatever that he wants. He shows his people he wants them to be there, and what do they do? Let him ask and let him get. I know we gave Pereira whatever that he wants. There was this guy Philip Truzia who took us for a ride. It was discovered later, this man does not have the necessary qualification. We gave them whatever they want. So why when it should be Peter should be a problem? Do you understand? So on that part, on that score, I think Infantino has done very well, to be honest. I don't know what happened here. Maybe somehow he was duped, all right? And then, like you said, because the spell of money is causing all sorts of problems. So,
How much profit do you need, Saubrey? I
eh?
mean, how much profit must you make before it's too much? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I
mm,
mean, you're going to price out and have priced out to a degree in this World Cup.
mm,
Your average football supporter,
mm,
and that should never be
mm,
the
mm,
intention.
mm,
Should never
mm.
be that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yes, Pete.
I- it should be actually within reach of
Mm,
most your average dude. Let's put
mm,
it that way.
mm,
And that I think is where FIFA probably not got it right now with the ticket sales being as high as they are. I mean, if you think now an average South African now wanting to go and watch South Africa play in the World Cup,
mm,
I mean,
mm,
look at the price of the air ticket, the accommodation, the travel, the food. And
mm,
that's before you even start with those tickets. And some of those tickets were being sold for like $1,000, I heard. Some of the
mm,
tickets were going
mm.
for. I mean, come on, guys. You know, your average dude can't do this. Huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
The-
for me,
mm,
they've probably taken it a little bit too far with the profiteering. Um,
mm, mm. Is
and
he?
I think I think that's becoming the focus rather than the football in some respect, in my opinion.
Mm,
Although you rightly say that the tournament was very good. I thought there was a little bit of niggle here and there, which was unnecessary. But
mm,
generally
mm,
speaking, most of the teams came up, played football. I'm glad UEFA's now decided there's not going to be any water breaks
mm,
because that was just an excuse for further, well, not just, but the advertising campaigns that followed in those things. They became really annoying, and it was an interruption into what should be a 45-minute game, not a 20 or whatever it is, whenever minutes, four halves or
mm,
four quarters,
mm,
should I say.
mm,
No.
mm.
If you want a drink of water, you run to the sideline, you grab the bottle and you take a swig and you throw it back. That's what's always happened. You know, why do we need water breaks?
Mm, mm, mm. You
They'll
know,
always sell it on the health issue for the players, and there is a certain element of that. But please, man, the players
mm,
know what to do when they're thirsty.
mm, 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 maybe it's a question of I don't know. They how can I put it? They what you call they elaborated too much.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good idea. The elaboration was too much for me. That's how I see it. Um, whatever that they did, it was too much elaboration. They want to maximize in everything. Okay. And I still want to know who paid for those people who attended, because attendance was good. This was the best World Cup. In terms of numbers, they've done very well. In terms of football, they've done very well. So that it cannot be taken away from them. But let's see. We know that in Europe, they are campaigning strongly for him to go. The CAF guys, they are sympathetic. I don't, it's CAF and who? I think it's CONCACAF who are supporting him.
No, I think it's the other way around, actually. I think CONCACAF,
Mm,
UEFA,
mm,
and the Asian Football Association. I think those three are against him, and the other three on the other side being Oceania,
mm.
blah, 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 etc., etc. And
I,
obviously CAF.
I would say, okay, fine. Having said everything that we said, even if, let's say, the elections suffer, they went ahead, one wins, Infantino is going or is not going. After that, whoever comes in, I think they should reflect. They should go back to the drawing board and ask themselves, are we still doing what we said we want to do, or it's all about money? So that's my opinion. I may be wrong, I may be right. So I don't know what's your take. For me, it would be nice to say, okay, guys, we've done well. World Cup is gone. And then I'm hearing news as if the game between, I don't know how are they going to go about it. I'm not sure whether you're aware, between Argentina and Spain may be repeated.
No, I can't see that.
Because they said Argentina came up with issues that they raised, which they felt that they were not treated fairly. But we'll watch the space. Now, Pete, let's go to
It's
the,
not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Saubrey. Never.
let's watch the space.
The,
Yeah,
Argentina, just before we go on, Argentina were thoroughly beaten in that final.
yeah,
They must just accept it.
yeah. No. No, they were not in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
They were not in the game. Yeah, those are some of the, but this World Cup, they've mud it. And then
Mm,
when come to the golden ball, I still don't agree.
mm.
Everybody, we are unison. Even Mbappe said, even Rod himself said, Messi deserve it. I don't know how did he came about to that conclusion. Pete, let's go to the books. Tomorrow I'm training. I'm training all our members of TBR membership club. So yeah, this is one of the books that we sell. It's called Secrets for Becoming Rich. This is the second edition, and then the first edition is also there. And then here's another one by Luther Libelo. It's called Consciousness of Being God. So those are some of the books that you can get. Reading is power, and then the other book is this one. This one I wrote it in 2010. How I turned 500 rand into a million rand business, and then you can do the same. If one person can do it, why not? Anyone can do it. We are all having the same capabilities, and then God has given us. It's a question of, maybe deciding that I want to do this, and then do it. And then there is another one by a friend of mine who's late now, Nomsa Masbugo, entrepreneur awaken with a drive. Very good book, and then people can lay a hand on it. And then another one, this one by Andile Mkutama. Andile Mkutama is called Gupta Family versus Stellenbosch Mafia. Remember, it was alleged Guptas have captured the Zuma regime. Then Stellenbosch Mafia are alleged to have captured the state. So yeah, so if people wants to read, they can read. Now, Pete, Man City, who are you playing this coming?
Playing tonight.
Okay, tonight, yes.
Yes. Crystal Palace away. Yeah.
Yeah, we are doing it on Friday, so people should not be shocked. So you're playing Crystal Palace. So what's your take? What's your take?
Yeah, I wasn't really that impressed with the opening performer at home against Bournemouth there. I think we were very lucky, and I think Bournemouth deserved at least a point there. But
Mm, mm,
it didn't work that way for them.
mm,
Fortunately for Man City, they managed to get the 3 points, which I thought, as I say, I
mm,
thought was very lucky.
mm,
Um,
mm,
that I don't think, he's playing Foden for me on the wing. And for me, Foden's not a winger, he's a number 10. He stands behind Ireland or
mm,
the striker in question.
mm,
And, there he goes. And, you have somebody like Savinho who they've sold now, but
mm,
Doku or somebody like that on the
mm,
wing.
mm,
So I think
mm,
I'm quite impressed with Semenyo. And Semenyo's playing fantastic, I think.
mm,
I think Semenyo
mm,
on the one wing and Doku on the other, but he was injured. I'm
mm,
not sure if he's going to be fit for tonight's game, but
mm, mm,
hmm, yeah,
mm,
not. I think when you sell so many players, you change the manager. I think it's going to be a bit of a toughy season for Man City this year. And as I said earlier, I think Arsenal's got that stability to possibly retain the Premier League now, but we'll see. Uh, we'll
mm.
see, because it's one thing to win it, but it's another thing to retain it. But if I look at the teams below them, they've all going through changes of managers and players, and with Arsenal, it's not so much. They've bought one or two players and like one or two goal, but it's not significant in my opinion.
Staying at the top is so difficult, eh?
Yeah, we'll
It's
see
very
what the
difficult.
Pirates can do it this year as well, eh?
Yeah, staying at the top, it's a
Mm.
mission, man. It's a mission. We we all wish that they can stay at the top, but you know what? Um, it's not as easy as that. Having said what you said, look at Pirates. They are now
Mm.
leading on the log. Pirates number one, followed by Mamelodi Sundowns, and then no, followed by Kaiser Chiefs, which is good for a change. Mamelodi
There's been more games since then though, Saubrey. I think they've all played four now.
as it also maybe
Yeah,
these pictures
yeah, I
are
think it's
yeah
yeah, I think Mamelody's in second place now and Chiefs are down third. And then
yeah
from what I can remember, Amazulu's in fourth spot, yeah.
yeah. Amazulu, I'm very proud of Arthur. Is doing very well.
Mm,
Remember, Amazulu is not that big team. That does not attract players. Players want to go to Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. Okay, so seeing them doing what they're doing, Amazulu, they're punching above their weight. So yeah, it's we are happy. We're happy for Amazulu, and then
mm.
let them continue to do well. Another team that is doing well in terms of unearthing players is Golden Arrows. They unearth a lot of players, although they offload them to Orlando Pirates in most cases. Having said what I said earlier on, when the minister Gaten McKenzie was talking about VAR and so on, that is why I don't want him to be a referee and a player. Remember, he has a team. He may say, no, it's not my team, it's my son's team. He said, I gave my son to buy the team. You see, that on its own is a conflict of interest. All right? So maybe the minister should be very careful.
Mm.
Trend very careful
Agree.
because now you are bringing unnecessary spotlight on you. You must play like a father figure, man. Everybody must be
Mm.
able to come on you and say, old man, how can you help us? Do you understand? But all of the Pirates are doing well after they've released so many players. Um, it shows that they are doing something. They are cooking something that is good there. And then,
Mm.
yeah, let me share some of the books, Pete. Here is one by Benny McCarthy, Mark Gleason. It's called. I had a very nice interview with Mark Gleason. The book is called Benny. He said it was a marketing people decided to say, let's call it Benny. Simple as that. In any way, that's how Benny is known. And then there's also
Yeah.
Darlene Small, How to Win the Wealth Game, The Art of the Money. Like I said, tomorrow I'm training some people about money and business. So yeah, so those are some of the books that you can get. And then here's another one. It's called How to Get Out of Bad Debts. Use other people's money and resources to get rich. Because there are two types of debts, bad and good ones. Okay. And be careful who's telling which one is bad, which one is good. They say the good mortgage. Watch the space. Whether it's a mortgage or what. Pete, I think we tried to, get to the groove. We haven't spoken for too long. But
No, it's true.
the question to you out there, what's your take about the utterances of Hugo Bros? Vito, to be honest, I saw so many people lambasting him. So what's your opinion? Do you think he has gone overboard? But let's hear what you say. And then the minister, what do you say about him? Going all over? Because for me, he's a player in a referee. All right. And then I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, Pete. Maybe I'm wrong. What's your take about that? I don't expect the minister to talk. It's the same thing that you're talking about Infantino. If you celebrate because Argentina has scored, it's going to muddy the whole thing.
Mm.
I don't know. What's your take about this? What's your take about the posture of the minister? But you said maybe it's electioneering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's a
Well,
wrong thing for me.
look, for me, in closing, I think it's crunch time for SAFA. That's the way I see it,
Mm,
because they've got the leadership election coming up next month if it's not postponed.
mm,
They've got 21 days in which to come up with the answers that are required there or finalize what they're supposed to be doing, because that implementation should, based on whoever's timeline it was, should have been implemented by now. And so, yeah, I can kind of get Gaten's angle on, what's going on there.
mm,
And then what's the other one now? Yeah, there's this whole story about, if you read between the lines, what Hugo was saying about, what was going on at SAFA, agents and sort of like the structure and all that sort of thing. So, if you look at those three subjects there, they all come back with the common source, and that is SAFA. So I think SAFA are under a lot of pressure at the moment to get things right, and including, our favorite coach's salary. So yeah.
But
Yeah, when it comes to the minister, he's going to use everything that he can because of the local elections, and they all do it. So why not? I guess to a point. Yeah.
no, I don't think they all do it because if 2010, I never saw the ANC capitalizing on that, to be honest.
No, I'm talking nowadays, these
Yeah.
days.
The, the, the,
Yeah.
the, for me, it went too much. Well,
Mm.
my opinion, I may be wrong. You know
Let's
what?
see what the viewers say. Let's see
Yeah,
what the viewers say.
even
They'll correct. They'll correct us.
yeah, even Safa too. Yes, Safa has done, but they've done well. Under 17, they qualify for the World Cup
Mm,
because where they are being judged on football matters.
sure.
Banyana, Banyana, they are
Doing
there.
well.
Mamelodi Sundowns is doing well, have won the CAF Champions League within the radar of Safa, of course, in collaboration with PSL. There, yeah, it's what, no one is perfect, but let's hear your opinion out there. What's your take about all this news? Give us your opinion, all right, and let us be fair, and
Sure, we try to be, huh?
yeah, we are
We
trying.
try to be.
We are trying. Before I go, Pete, let me do my favorite one, the Messi special. I haven't done it, eh? And then,
Ah,
yeah, and then have you seen? They are losing a lot, eh? These days, huh?
yeah.
And I said the coach. It is alleged that hey, there's another coach at the door. And we hear so many rumors. That is why we want the news. We hear so many rumors that Neymar may go there. But these are the rumors, man, They don't tell us much. You know, and I don't know whether you've noticed, we have been observing Casemiro went there. Ever since he was there, things are going bad there at TBR. Now it sounds like, hey man, why did you come? I don't know, but you can also make your opinion. Look,
Sure.
having said what I said, let me share something quickly on the Messi special. The young Messi, Sierra, is doing well. And guess what? It's both Messi at the age of 8. Can you see that? This is what he won. And this is Sierra at the age of 8. So you can do a comparison. We don't know. We'll watch the space. Very,
Well, he
very.
looks like his old man, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They say he's a genius, but I'm worried because they're putting too much pressure on the young.
Yeah.
Look, if you play with, remember Pele, we thought his son will be something else, then he became something else. Messi scored the fastest 923 goals for PSG. He scored 32, where they said he was a flop, but scoring 32 goals for, of course, Barcelona. He spent most of his time 672. Inter Miami 94, Argentina 125. Yeah, and then we hear so many news. And guess what? We are told that he's already leading when it comes to MVP in the United States with 14 goals and 9 assists. And remember, he has played fewer games compared to the rest. And so, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for being with us, but let's hear your opinion. We are seeing what we are seeing. We may be wrong. Maybe can make us clever. Pete, I don't know what you say towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, put us right. If you think we're on the wrong track, let's hear it. Maybe your opinion is probably as good as ours, if not better sometimes. So yeah, let's hear it. And we'll see you on the next one, I guess. Yeah?
Please subscribe and like and continue to comment.
Comment.
And
Yeah.
then we appreciate your presence. All right. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Pete, shout out.
Cheers, boss.
We'll post it now or early in the morning. I think we'll post it now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, cheers, man. Bye.
Kgotsong, ke le tsebetsa ka buka ya ka e buang ka tsela yeo ke tsamaileng bophelong ba ka. Le tla utlwa ka mathata ao ke bileng le ona le katleho yeo ke e fihletseng. Hape le hore radio e nkahile jwang hore ke fetole bophelo ba ka. Takatso ya ka ke hore o fumane buka ena ya ka e tla fetola bophelo ba hao. Ya buang ke Dr. Chomani. Take it easy.